Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 509 of NoDQ&A Video, right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A Video's affiliate, RingsideNews.com. Real quick, make sure you check out the new NoDQ group on Facebook. It is located at facebook.com/groups/NoDQforums, and you can also access it at NoDQforums.com. That is the brand new group for NoDQ.com. And the old one got deleted because apparently some people were posting spam or whatever in the middle of the night, and I guess Facebook requires me as the admin to be awake 24/7 to make sure that stuff doesn't get posted. So I'm going to be staying awake now for a very long time, making sure that that group doesn't get spammed again, or maybe I'll just get some people to admit it. We'll see. But anyways, there's a new group. Check it out. Enough of that. Let's get down to your questions. First one today comes from Brendan Mensah. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. If TNA does go out of business, do you think we could possibly see the return of Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, or Matt Hardy, etc.? Keep up the good work. Well, especially now since the rumors have been going around about TNA and there's speculation about the company's future, if they have a future. People were already speculating about Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy going back to WWE at some point. And if TNA does go under by the end of the year, I certainly see a possibility in both of them going back to WWE. I think it's more of a matter of the ball being in WWE's court. Kurt Angle has made it very clear publicly that he would like to go back to WWE, and Jeff Hardy has as well. He has expressed interest in going back, and he recently did an interview and he talked about how he missed the WWE universe. So I'm sure both of them will be back in WWE one day. In what capacity, that remains to be seen. I've talked about Kurt Angle before and his health, and that was one of the things that led to his departure from WWE. I certainly don't see him coming back and wrestling full time again. The question is, will WWE even bring him back and have him wrestle on a part-time basis? That's still a big question mark. But as far as going into the Hall of Fame, I could definitely see Kurt Angle coming back and doing that. And same thing with Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, I think there's a better chance of him actually getting in the ring and competing again, maybe at WrestleMania or whatever, and possibly a reunion with the Hardy Boys. That I could definitely see happening. So as far as actually coming back and wrestling, I think Jeff Hardy's more likely. But I think regardless of what happens with TNA, even if they manage to stay in business, even if they get a new TV deal, I think one day we will see Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy back in WWE in some capacity. This one comes from Nick Lombardi 9. Hey Aaron, do you think that Brock Lesnar should have a match with Kane at some point, either before or after he's champ? I think storyline it makes sense for obvious reasons. Revenge for his fallen brother. Also, I think him crushing Kane will be good. They could definitely do that. I think that I would like to see Kane pushed a bit more and not be seen as this guy who used to be a monster and now he's just kind of there. I'd like to see Kane be booked as a monster again and go on a huge rampage and then maybe put him against Brock Lesnar. Definitely, if Brock is going to be doing more dates and he's going to be having title defenses, it only makes sense to put Kane in there and he can try to get revenge for Undertaker and they could make a big storyline out of that. So if Kane is booked strong and made to look like a monster again and you build it up for a couple of months, maybe it's Survivor Series or even Royal Rumble, that would definitely be a good match to do to take advantage of the Undertaker storyline and continue to build up Brock Lesnar as this dominant champion. So, I mean, I'm all for it happening, and if they run out of opponents for Brock Lesnar, I don't know if the match will be any good. I mean, that's a big concern, but at least from a storyline perspective, it would be a good idea. All right, this one comes from Dave451985. Do you think it would be a good idea with the success of The Shield to bring up another stable from NXT instead of guys like Adam Rose or Xavier Woods, who just didn't really make an impact solo? Well, the idea is that WWE wants to try and build the guys that are already on the main roster. They don't want to completely give up on those guys yet. So, that has a lot to do with this new faction with Xavier Woods and the other guys. Big E and Kofi Kingston, WWE trying to find something to do with these guys and give them another push, so they're coming up with this new faction for them. So WWE wants to try and work with the guys that they already have on the main roster before they start bringing in new people. And they're in no hurry to bring up more guys from NXT right now. So I don't see that happening for a while. They're going to try and make stars out of the guys that are already on the roster and try to give them new storylines if things aren't working. I mean, that's what they're going to do. And then if things don't work out with those guys, at some point they'll bring in new people and try those people in those roles. All right, this one comes from Chris Mace 39628. Please answer in video. What do you think of the release of Ricardo, and should they have just put him back with Alberto Del Rio? Well, once Ricardo and Del Rio were split apart, I figured that Ricardo's days were numbered, and I'm actually surprised that he lasted almost a full year on his own without with Del Rio. I figured that he would have been around for a couple months and then they would have cut him a while back, but they kept him around, and only now that they're doing all the budget cuts, they parted ways with him. I think it's a shame. I think that Ricardo was a big part of Del Rio's act, as I've talked about in other videos, and once Ricardo and Del Rio had their split, I mean, Del Rio's never really been the same. Ricardo was a big part of the act, and I knew they weren't going to have anything for him. I knew he was never, he doesn't really have the physique that WWE likes, and I knew that they weren't really going to push him in the ring as a single star. And he was managing RVD, being at ringside with him, but you knew that wasn't going to last long. And they've had him doing the Spanish commentary. I figured maybe that could have lasted longer, but then they're doing all the budget cuts and they're letting people go. So I figured it was going to happen. I'm just a little surprised that it took as long for him to get cut. All right, this one comes from CM Punk 303. Hey Aaron, I am able to share my WWE Network account with a lot of people. Why hasn't WWE placed a restriction on the number of devices the network can be accessed? I think this is one of the main reasons the numbers are low. That definitely could be a factor. I don't know how much a factor it is, but I've actually heard from several people that they've been able to share their accounts with various people. Now with Netflix, I think you're only allowed to do it with a few people or a few devices, and it's limited. With WWE, I mean, if they haven't cracked down on that yet, then they absolutely should. I mean, there's no need to allow all these different people access to the network. They should really restrict it if they haven't already. And like I said in the previous video, they're working out all the kinks of the WWE Network still, and they still got to tweak things. And in time, I think that the network will be successful, but they have to work things out, and it's only been operating for 6 months. So there's still time for them to mess around with it and fix the bugs, and it won't. I don't think it will completely change the numbers or anything like that, but restricting the devices, that will definitely get some people out there that are freeloading to sign up for the network. But then again, maybe not. All right, final question here today from Galatasaray. Or Sare451. Hey Aaron, first time asker from Amsterdam, Holland. And I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Why is WWE looking for foreign talent when some of them can't speak English? WWE recently signed Kenta, and rumors that WWE is interested in Okada, the #1 draw from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Please answer in video. Well, I think it's just a matter of WWE wanting to have a star in the market that they're trying to expand in. Like with Sin Cara, they were trying to, expand in the Hispanic market, and they wanted a Hispanic star in WWE, a guy that they could push who represents a country that they're trying to, gain exposure in. So that's what's happening here. With the WWE Network going worldwide in August, in just a couple weeks from now, WWE, I think you're going to see more of this. You're going to see more international stars coming in, if for any other reason, so WWE can push a star in a market that they're really trying to expand into and get network subscribers from. So, stuff with Japan and, all over the place. I could see several international stars coming into WWE in the next couple of years. But, Japan's a market that they really want to, gain exposure in. And, same thing with Mexico and several other countries, the UK. They're always looking to have that star that represents the country, somebody that, they have a hero. The people in the country, they have their star in the WWE. So that's a whole marketing thing that they're doing. So we'll see what happens with Kenta. I mean, he's definitely got the talent, and we'll see how he does in developmental. So that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already at youtube.com/NoDQCAW, and stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors from WWE and TNA. See you next time.